Welcome to Keepers. I'm Matt Ufford, and this is the only fantasy football show that goes back into the game after getting concussion. May explain some of my advice last week, by the way. Let's get right into it and start the sit for week 11. Start your Raiders, particularly Carson Palmer and Marcel Reese, assuming Darren McFadden and Mike Goodson are still out. Reese had over 100 yards from scrimmage against the Ravens, and the Saints are not at the Ravens' level. They're not at anyone's level. The Saints have a historically bad defense. It's at the bottom of the league in so many measurable categories that you can justify starting almost any Raider. Sit your Carolina running backs. Not that Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams have merited a start all season, but Tampa Bay is the #1 rush defense in the league right now. Those numbers are a little skewed due to the Bucs' weak schedule, but the Panthers aren't the team that's going to expose that. On the flip side, go ahead and start Cam Newton. The Bucs may have the best rush defense, but they're giving up more yards through the air than any team in the league. Yes, even more than the Saints. Start Nick Foles. The Redskins' pass defense is no match for an untested rookie. That's not a joke. The Skins have only held one opposing quarterback to fewer than 20 points. That's when they held Eli Manning to 337 yards in Week 7. I think Foles will be good for 300 yards and a couple of touchdowns. While we're talking about replacement quarterbacks, sit Byron Leftwich. He is Byron Leftwich. Start Andre Roberts. Larry Fitzgerald will draw Asante Samuel, which leaves Dante Robinson on Roberts, and Robinson sucks. Roberts' precision routes will give him plenty of looks underneath. You'll just have to cross your fingers that whoever's starting at quarterback for the Cardinals can get him the ball. Let's go to my least favorite segment, the reality check. Friends, last week was an unmitigated disaster, and I hope for your sake you didn't listen to me. As YouTube commenter NateDog2385 said, start or sit went so wrong, LOL. About the only thing I got right was the quarterbacks, predicting good games for Ryan Fitzpatrick and Carson Palmer, and bad games for Jay Cutler and Matt Schaub. Man, running backs killed me. Let's just say I'm glad Fred Jackson's injury is forcing Chan Gailey to give CJ Spiller the ball. I mean, too bad about the concussion doing irreparable damage to Jackson's brain, but great news for Spiller owners, right? I'm an awful person. Need to upgrade your roster? Let's go to the trading block. Buy low on Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I don't trust him against any competent defense, but good news. He doesn't face a competent defense until the Seahawks in Week 15. The next 3 games are at the Colts, then home against the Jags and Rams. That's better value than an Ivy League education. Sell high on Robert Griffin III. He hasn't had a 300-yard passing game since Week 4, and while he gives you added value with his legs, I don't like the variance in his rushing game. 89 yards against the Giants one week, 8 against the Steelers the next. I'd want a steadier play during my stretch run. Buy low on Ahmad Bradshaw. The Giants' offense is struggling, and Andre Brown has cut into his red zone carries. When the calendar flips to December, the Giants will get back on track, and Bradshaw will get 100 yards and a touchdown, even in a timeshare. That's just how they do it. I don't know. Sell on Willis McGahee. He's still worth a play as an RB2, but his fumbleitis and the emergence of Ronnie Hillman have lowered his value considerably. Unlike Bradshaw, I don't see him bouncing back as the season comes to a close. And now we go to adorable man-child Isaac for the weather report.
42.1. Marble, 63. Matt, are you hearing this? It's the sound of Mother Nature groaning in anticipation of a giant AFC battle between two behemoths. The Ravens are traveling to Pittsburgh to fight the Steelers. It's going to be 50 degrees, but don't let that fool you. Things are going to get f***ing hot. Back to you. 60, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Thanks, Isaac. Let's close strong with hire and fire. Hire Jacquizz Rodgers and fire Michael Turner. Turner's 15 yards on 13 carries against the Saints is the last straw for me. He's awful in the red zone and everywhere else on the field, and I hate him even more for making me look bad. Quiz hasn't gotten as many touches as I want for a fantasy back, but at least his legs work properly and he runs like someone who could pass for a professional running back. Now, quarterbacks, hire Russell Wilson and Jake Locker and fire anyone with a concussion. Wilson should stay on the bench when the Seahawks visit the Bears, but he's become a great play at home where he has 11 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. As for Locker, he's not as good of a pickup as Carson Palmer or even Fitzpatrick, but 2 of the Titans' next 3 games are against the Jags and Colts. If you just lost Ben Roethlisberger, you could do worse for yourself. That's it for Week 11 of Keepers. Your outdoor activity of the week? Tailgating. If it's cold enough outside, it's okay to drink Busch Light. Set your lineups. See you next week.